Welcome back, everybody, to episode 12 of The Exit Row. We're now a dozen. I'm your host, Adama Anderson, here with Justin.
Hello.
And Paige.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
It's Thanksgiving week. So first, quick shout out to all the listeners who are listening. I hope you have safe travels.
Thankful for each and every one of you.
Absolutely.
Yes, and we are thankful for every one of you. Hope you have safe travels. If you're flying on Thanksgiving, then you know that flying on holidays, it's the cheapest day.
Or even if you're just traveling to the kitchen, be safe.
You're right.
There's that too.
There's going to be a lot of commuting between the fridge and the couch, so be safe.
Yeah, and you got to watch the TV.
Right.
You know, got to watch that football.
Just swing open the fridge at a good rate. You know, not too fast.
Got the Macy's
No
parade.
concussions on Thanksgiving.
So, there's been a lot of news in the last few weeks. And first off, we want Paige. We got a little bit of a shout out to us.
We do. Nolanor Aviation did a little bit of a shout out to us on their Instagram story last week and included the snippet of us, or me, I guess, giving them the shout out for having a great social media presence. So thank you so much for that. That was awesome.
Nolanor. Apologies in advance if that's not correct, but
Yes.
we're assuming that's what it is, right?
Yes.
But anyway, that was really cool. Yeah, our voices were on their account. Really cool stuff. So we appreciate you guys over there.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
And shout out to, what is it? What piece of equipment is your favorite again?
The plane or the tug? Because the plane, 737-200, which holds a special place in my heart because that's the first aircraft I flew. But the tug, thick boy. If
That's
you know,
it.
you know.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it like 3 or 4 C's, right?
2 C's. Thick with 2 C's at the end, yes. Oh, my favorite.
Good old thick boy.
Thick boy.
No,
Love
Leonard,
my
thank
thick
you so
boy.
much. And again, if we pronounce it wrong, we apologize. But thank you. Well, okay, so we're going to go out to Amsterdam for this next topic.
We should get going.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean,
honestly.
I'm going to be there next month, so I'm excited.
Oh, jealous.
Cool. Good for you.
So it was just released this week that the Orange Pride livery, which is beautiful in person, I've seen it 2 or 3 times now, it has been repainted.
Ooh.
Now, it's broken the internet a little bit, or at least the aviation industry. Those who are fans can't say it broke the internet, but some people are fans of it. All 3 of us have seen it.
Oh, it's great. It's always one of the best liveries.
It is. I absolutely agree. But some people don't like the new change.
It's funny because it really hasn't changed. It's just a subtle change at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I saw the headline, they said they repainted it, and I was like, I hadn't seen a picture yet, and I got deeply concerned.
I did too.
So I was like, why? It's kind of like when Alaska got rid of More to Love. I'm like, what are we even doing here?
Right. I was just going to say, are we going to have another Alaska
But
situation
then I saw a
going
picture
on?
and I took a step back. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the change with it is they've removed the gradient in between the orange and the blue, and they actually put the Dutch flag in, so it separates the orange and the blue, making it more of a Dutch aircraft. Now, it's kind of funny because you've seen some people post, I mean, I saw somebody post that it looked like it was EasyJet and KLM had merged into a plane.
I've not heard that yet, but it makes sense.
So I thought that was kind of funny, but I think the majority of people were liking it, and it makes sense because the gradient before, it had the orange and the blue, and then they had the kind of purplish, color that mixes in between orange and blue. I'm not a scientist or whatever.
It'll always be one of my favorite liveries of all time.
Yeah.
I just liked it the way it was previously.
Yeah.
I'm conflicted because I really like both. I love my gradients, obviously, but then having
You do.
I know I do.
Radiant queen over there.
Yeah.
If you need your daily dose of gradients, just hit up Omaha Spotter Page.
Yep, absolutely. No shame on it. But I love the flag too, so it's conflicting for me because I love both.
So,
but at least it wasn't drastically changed,
Right.
Yeah, because
It's still
that
the
is
same
one of the
concept.
best liveries. Yeah.
yeah, like you said, if they had removed it like More to Love was removed, then it would have been completely like what?
Right.
But,
The best gradient plane there ever was, and they just took it away.
and to me, it makes sense as somebody who knows like Holland, their national color is orange, so it makes more sense to just make it predominant. Hey, here's our flag, and here's the orange. So, love it.
Because it's on the same aircraft, right? Like it's it was literally just.
Oh,
pinned,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious. Would have been nice to like look, and I don't know if there's video out there of them actually like repainting it, like how they actually did it. I don't think it's a full repaint, but maybe it was.
No, they full on did the whole plane, repainted the whole plane. Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, then there we go.
Fresh paint.
Yeah, KLM. I look forward to being on their aircraft next month, and I can't wait to get my little Dutch house. So, all right. Next, we're gonna go out to China.
Ooh.
We are moving.
We are
moving. All right. So China Eastern had a computer glitch sale.
Wasn't this China Southern? I'm sorry to correct you. I thought
please.
article said China Southern.
I appreciate.
But either way, a Chinese airline. Yeah.
There we go.
I'll fact check this real quick while you bring it up.
Please do. All right. So we find out that there were some flights that were sold for only $1.30 American.
Oof.
Now, knowing most American lines, if you get a error fare, is what they call it, that they have the right to remove you from that fare and reimburse you your $1.30, so that way you can go buy a new flight.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But they have.
It was China Southern. Yep.
Okay, so
All right.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Live correction. Love it.
That way we don't have to come back next week and,
Right.
But anyways, China Southern. But yeah,
So-
China Eastern, China Southern. It was China directional.
There we go. But yeah, so they are actually going to honor all the individuals who got
That's wild.
those cheap tickets.
That's insane. That's literally insane.
I know.
So they're losing money, but
For the right reasons.
But then are they going to come up to you and be like, yeah, your snack is going to cost $400 to reimburse for that?
I mean, like, that would never. I mean, like, I think someone posed the question, but like, if that were to happen here, like, would they be honored or not? And like, the question is, hell no, it would not be honored.
No.
Like,
Right.
It's not even a question. Like,
Right.
if you don't want the airline to exist after those flights, yes.
I mean, I could see if maybe it was like $100 difference, they're going to do it.
Right.
But
Right.
you definitely,
A 98% difference. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's not Frontier, it's not Spirit. They probably would
Any
have
airline,
honored that,
any
right?
airline,
Right.
honestly.
But like Delta is not going to honor that. No. Now maybe if you're a platinum medallion or whatever, but maybe. No,
Maybe.
it's yeah, you're just not going to see it.
It's just really cool that they owned up to it.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Right.
And the fares that happen in America are usually computer based anyways. So something in the algorithm was wrong. And
And just like this was a glitch, but unfortunately, things do happen, like you're referring to.
right, and you got to get on those fares if you can. That's also why they have those, the small fine print about each ticket and what you're agreeing into.
Yep.
So, yeah, let's go to, after we're done with China, we're now actually going to head over to France real quick. So, and it kind of deals with Ireland. The RyanAir CEO last week talked about how in France, so it's specifically France, this is like their 53rd or 64th day of French air traffic control strikes. Now, it doesn't mean that it's 64 days in a row. In America or in Europe, strikes happen all the time. In Italy, they were going to shut down the metro stations on Friday, and the government said, "Stop with your striking. You're striking way too much." It's affecting the economy, especially in tourist locations. However, RyanAir, these French airstrikes, they're affecting everybody, including aircraft flying over the country. And the RyanAir CEO, he's been calling for it for quite a while. And he wrote the other day, he said, "Today we're suffering the 64th day of French air traffic control strikes. 160 RyanAir flights were canceled, 28,000 passengers affected, but then 100,000 additional passengers delayed across 600 plus RyanAir flights." I
A
mean,
little bit of a disruption.
A little bit, yeah. That's crazy.
and that's just, come on, like,
But it's just a perfect example. Like they've happened here in the past in the U.S. It's just a domino effect. It's crazy what one thing can affect.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and there needs to be some sort of like, okay, you got 64 days of this year that the French air traffic controllers have striked. You're affecting so many people. You're not just affecting, it'd be like flying over Nebraska. Okay, how about Chicago? We'll just say over Illinois and saying nobody can fly over Illinois. You're going to have to divert all these aircraft. And specifically if companies have bought the fuel, and like Ryanair literally flies the last drop. Like they don't keep much fuel in that aircraft. And here you go. You're just affecting so many people's operations.
Yeah.
But the French government also, they would rather you take a train than to actually fly. So they don't really care. But again, it's affecting everybody in Europe. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's...
I mean, what do I think? Yeah, I mean, it's awful. But like I said, it's just
Right.
more like from my standpoint, like as it doesn't affect me personally, but just being in logistics myself, you know, how you take one domino out and just the ripple effect.
Exactly.
It's insane. And just kind of like when the government shuts down here, like usually it's probably over something, you know, very minuscule at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, it just creates massive waves. And at the end of the day, let's just figure it out because it's hurting everyone.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. You're taking money out of people's pockets.
So like you said, it is an interesting like side effect in a weird way. You mentioned the train aspect over there, which is really funny because it hurts the economy, but at the same time, like I'm not saying this is factual at all, but just strategically shutting it down for a period of time and seeing what people do, you know, because like forcing people to go by other means.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, like the train in Milan, my wife literally, she has people who come to her because she's near a metro station. And because of the strike, she had to reschedule all these people, and all these people had to cancel. And so it affects everybody when
that's
they do
right.
these things.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't feel that much in America because we don't have the metro stations, or at least here in Nebraska, we don't have that. And we don't feel it. So
It impacts a lot of areas that some people don't even know. Even just the smallest little things have such a huge impact. So,
yeah. So thankfully, we're not dealing with it. But I agree with the RyanAir CEO. One of the things I agree with, that, hey, come on, guys, get yourself together, you know. Especially since you could fly everywhere in Europe for like stupid amount. It's so
right.
cheap. All right. So enough about RyanAir.
So isn't there, so not to bring you back, but isn't there some sort of weird petition going on that you mentioned?
Yeah. So far they've got about 2 million plus passengers. I'm not sure if that's in the UK or in Ireland or if it's all in the EU, who are looking to have whoever Ursula von der Leyen, I think she's in charge of the UN, or not UN.
Ursula,
she's
man,
part
that's a
of
tough
the-
name.
She's the president of the EU, I think, trying to get her to get the European Union to like say, hey, okay, we have strikes, but it doesn't affect aircraft that are at least flying over countries.
Hey, say what you want about petitions, but 2 million people, that's a lot. That's
Right.
a movement.
So
it says some.
let's go to Southwest. Let's come back to America.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Traveled a lot of miles today.
Yeah, we got to be
Sorry,
platinum by
guys.
now.
No miles for you. So I sent you this TikTok / it was on Instagram, whatever it was. It's been on all the platforms now. Southwest. I love their social media game, just
Oh,
like
me
how
too.
I have Ryanair social media game. And this week, I found it was a nice little jab at Frontier and Spirit and all the little hidden fees. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so they took everybody, or they took these random people out to, was it a bar,
Yeah.
right? And so there was a VIP, and then there was a VIP plus, and they kept, all these little fees that people had to pay, and I don't know, just like
It was comical. It was hilarious.
It
Charging people
was.
for ice cubes per ice cube in the drink.
like worst bar experience,
Right.
and that's what they revealed at the very end, was that this was the worst bar experience because, yeah, you should be able to pay for a ticket get 2 free pieces of luggage, and go fly.
It's funny because, like, I know what they were trying, like you just alluded to. They're jabbing at the other ultra low cost carriers. However, I just couldn't help but think, watching that video, I get they're trying to diss the others, but I was like, if there was a Southwest lounge, this is what it would be like. And it would suck. And it would, I get, because to me it kind of had a counteract. Like, I get what they were trying to do by kind of jabbing at Spirit and, say, Frontier, for instance. But to me, I couldn't help but think of, like, if Southwest really did have a club or a lounge, like, it would be like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Actually,
curious. I want to see it now.
You're probably right.
It would be a buzzkill. No pun
A
intended.
little snack pack. That's what you get when you come in. And then if you want to get it upgraded to peanuts, now you have to
VFC
Oh,
Plus.
peanuts,
Yeah, like charging
throwing it
per
back.
charging per cube, you know? Like, I mean,
And-
honestly.
You're gonna come in and like, oh, you're what's their tiers? What's the first tier?
Want to get away?
The want to get away.
Yeah.
Oh, you're part of the want to get away. Okay, you can get this seat and this seat and this seat. You come in and like
You can get the smallest glass of water.
you got to rearrange the lineup. Like, oh, this guy is in front of you. Everybody move back. You know.
It was kind of funny because just the thought of a Southwest lounge in general makes you laugh. But then when you see the video, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of funny because, like I said, they're poking fun at others, but for some reason I couldn't help but think, like,
Right.
you're also kind of making fun of yourself here at the same time. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Southwest CEO, if you're listening, prove us wrong. Make that lounge and
No, please
no,
don't.
actually don't. Actually,
please do. I want to see
actually,
it.
no, don't prove us wrong. Prove us right, right? I mean, and make this happen. Yeah.
Do it. All right. So
There would either be, like, you know, like everyone's talking about the lines and lounges and all that in the airports are outrageous. There would probably be like no line at the Southwest lounge, right? It'd be walk right up. Oh, well, we will pay you to come in this lounge. You know, like others are getting rid of the fees to pay. They're paying you a $25 minimum to come in. You know.
all right.
Anyway, well done. That was funny though.
Love it. Love it. I love airlines and social media.
right.
It's
So passive aggressive sometimes, and I love it.
all right, let's get to what I call the Noah's Ark of aviation is happening right now. We've all seen, Paige is laughing over here. We've all seen Snakes on a Plane. Some of us. All right, we know it's a famous movie. But right now we're having a lot of animals get loose on aircraft. Just being
Yeah.
reported in the last year. Specifically right now we're talking about this horse that got loose.
Terrifying.
The plane leaves JFK, gets near about Martha's
Wasn't it
Vineyard.
like a cargo Lux? It was like 747. Like, it was something significant, wasn't it?
This
Yeah, that
was,
sounds right.
it was, I had it was like Air Atlantic. Yeah, Air Atlanta Icelandic. Chartered 747.
Oh, okay, it was. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going from JFK to Liège, which is in Belgium, and got up to about 31,000 feet when, hey guys, we need to come back because we have a horse that's loose. And I think they have 15 horses on that aircraft. And, you know, like last year here in Omaha, we had a bunch of horses come here, right?
From Liège, too.
Shout out
Liège.
to the big Q.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
The big Q.
They
I
brought a
went
special
back
to us, too.
from the yes, it was really nice to get a special here, especially the big Q.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess these horses go back to Liège because of the international horse show that they have that goes around. But yeah, the horse, they have to turn around the aircraft.
We'll call him Jeff just for the time
Jeff.
being. We'll call this horse Jeff. He got out. He got out, right?
Jeff got out, and they had to go back to JFK and try to secure the plane with all the horses. Now, unfortunately, the horse had
They
to
even
be
called like a
euthanized.
vet on site, like,
Yeah, they
because something
need a
might have
vet
been
on
wrong
site.
with them, obviously.
Yep. And
With them, Jeff.
Jeff, poor Jeff didn't make it, unfortunately.
Is that
But-
right? I guess I didn't know the follow up on that
Me
story.
either.
Yeah, yeah. They had to euthanize him.
So like Kentucky's Derby style, they just took him out back.
Yep.
Wow.
He had a lot of injuries, so
Oh, wow.
was not able.
I guess
to
I hadn't heard that.
continue his
Yeah,
life.
me either.
Yeah.
Wow, Adama. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I wanted to talk about. There's been other animals who've
Jeff.
gotten loose this year. There was a rat on an Air France 777 that got loose last month,
Oh, rats.
or rodent. Oh, rats.
Oh, rats.
Paige's jokes. All right.
What airline was that rat found on?
That was on Air France 777.
What in the world?
Yeah. There was also an otter that got loose last month from a flight from Bangkok.
An otter.
Now, this is the one that I really like. There was a bear that got loose on a commercial flight. All right, so not a cargo flight, a commercial flight.
Like obviously in the cargo hold?
In the cargo hold from Baghdad to Dubai.
I guess I hadn't heard about this.
I laughed when I heard that. And then in April, there was a South African pilot. I'm not sure which airline it was, but the pilot found a Cape Cobra, which is a deadly snake, up his shirt.
Oh, no.
So somehow it got into the cockpit. I don't know how.
There's a lot of questions here.
How did it get all the way up his shirt before I even noticed?
Yeah, how do you just run into it? Oh, you're already here. Like, how does this even
Like, how
regardless, we're just going over the fact that it's already in the cockpit. Like, that's not even the main point here anymore.
I would like to know how that happened. I'm
Was
sure
this like
I'm
his
sure you can
pet or-
Google and find out. But it just amazes me, like, the animals that get on the plane. So, like, we see it. Sometimes we'll see insects get in the plane, and you're like, how did this butterfly get in here?
Like gnats and flies too, yeah.
Right. Now, I definitely know that from being on military, aprons, being all over the world. I get it, because sometimes the plane's doors are open all the time.
Of course.
But I don't expect it on a Delta flight or United flight where it's connected through via air bridge, and you get it straight on. But yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and give a pilot the benefit of the doubt and just assume he was so focused on flying the plane that he didn't notice a freaking snake climbing up yours. Like, there's a lot of questions here, are there not?
Yeah.
Well, and I've seen this, like, in South Africa, this happens quite often not quite often, but, like, it happens where animals, bugs can get in aircraft in, like, near the Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some YouTuber that I saw, like, he was like, yep, we had to remove animals in here because they got into the aircraft. So
I've seen that too. Yeah.
Don't know. There's
I'd like to know
more
how
to
it
the
played
story.
out afterwards. Like, once he found that snake, then what?
Right.
Like, did he
That's
just
what I wanna
just
know.
jump into like, I don't know what I would have done.
Would you declare in-flight emergency?
Especially if we're like, are we at cruising altitude? Like, what is going on here?
Right.
I did see a video earlier today about it was a smaller plane. I can't remember which one, but they had a wasp in the cockpit, and they were able to secure it, but they
Secure the wasp as in smash it with a...
I'm not sure exactly, but they said they had it secured, and I was like,
Because the livelihood of the wasp is key.
I would be throwing anything I could at it to get that thing to be yeeted, because there's no way that I could stand to be in a Cessna like 172 or something, and there's just a wasp
awful.
flying around. I wouldn't be able to fly the plane.
Oh, no. No, please no. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to be right back.
All right, guys, welcome back to the exit row. Adama, we have some pretty cool news about the B-21.
That's right. It's also known as the Raider.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this week, or it was on November 10th, so I guess that was a week and a half ago.
Ish.
At the time of this recording, we finally saw the B-21 take its first flight.
Aw, so cute.
And yeah, looking at the pictures, I think it's a beautiful aircraft. I'm
Right.
showing you both right here, and everybody, if you go look on the internet, you can see a lot of spotters got some really good
it was
photos.
so detailed. I'm like, how do you get a picture so detailed like that? It was crazy.
It was impressive,
Yeah.
and it's great to see finally. It left Air Force Plant 42 in Palmdale, California, and made its trip over to Edwards Air Force Base, departing at 6:51. And yeah, here there was a routers is that how you say routers? I think it's routers. Article that
Yes,
said
I
that
will say yes.
36 aviation enthusiasts and amateur photographers were there, and it'll be great to see this aircraft fly in the future. I myself, I told you guys a little bit earlier, I've been in the cockpit of one of the B-2s.
Whatever. No
Very
big deal.
few B-2s.
Right.
Hashtag no bragging.
Big sword didn't happen.
This is so cool. This is the future of of our bomber community. And I think
Our
it's
bomber
gonna be neat.
community just sounds interesting. Sure. It's a big community out there, the bomber community. Bunch of good
anyways.
people. So as I clarified with you off air, so like for people like me, I'm not well versed in military aircraft. So this is the stealth bomber. Is this not?
That is correct. This is the stealth bomber. I don't think it's going to place. I don't know the details about it, the replacement of the B-2. But anyways, this is going to be the next generation of stealth bombers in the U.S. Air Force fleet. So we're making waves. This is considered the 6th generation, I think. Yeah, 6th generation aircraft. And it'll be interesting to see all that it can do. So, yeah, they had a trailing cone there to like figure out the speeds and all the data that they need for the aircraft. But, yeah, I think it was only data or data.
Move on, please. Move
Okay.
On the next edition of Paige's Polls.
Oh, yeah. So the Air Force plans to buy 100 of these aircraft to replace the B-1 and the B-2 bombers. And, yeah, it'll be interesting to see in the future. So the B-21 Raider. All right. Let's go from the desert of California to the ice desert of Antarctica.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's a
I
desert.
wasn't prepared. I didn't pack my weather gear, my cold weather gear.
Yeah,
So.
it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
So, this week we saw Norse Atlantic take the first ever 787 to Antarctica.
Ooh.
It was cool.
I won't lie.
No pun intended.
That aircraft, beautiful.
Right.
Love to see the landing. As I showed you both, there was one of the flight attendants had a TikTok, and she posted about how they left South Africa that day and made their way down to Antarctica. They were taking some scientists down there, and stated that it was a very smooth flight, and smooth landing. They took a lot of social media reels for
As they should
TikTok
have.
and
Yeah,
all
as
that.
they should have, yeah. Like, if you don't know what we're talking about, just real quick, just easily search Norse Antarctica. Like, there's plenty of coverage on this.
Well, because they landed on an ice runway.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
It's usually the A340 is what is taken down there to.
One of those, like, high flies, I think it is. Like the charter company or whatever.
Yeah. Usually that's who flies down there. And I don't know the other charters that come from South America. There's aircraft that will do that as well. But it's always interesting to see when, a nice, beautiful 787, the first one ever to land there. So hopefully we can see more.
Any Dreamliner would look cool, but like I think I mentioned to you off air here, like something about those Norse colors just looked so fine
Right.
in the snow.
It just blended in well. Those blues with all the snow. Yeah.
Just the light blue just really reflected just perfectly off the sun and the snow.
Yeah, exactly.
So pretty. So pretty. And, so that one flight attendant, I can't remember what her name was, but I think Karen was her name. She posted that.
Was it really? That would be kind of hilarious if her name was Karen.
I mean, I can look it up right
It
here
really
real
doesn't.
quick.
It doesn't really matter.
Karen Vaigi. I can't say your name. I'm sorry. Anyways, she stated that the flight attendants and the crew, they actually brought back some of the ice from Antarctica back to South Africa. And at the end of the day, they ended up having some cocktails with
I mean, that's cool as hell.
ice from
Right.
Antarctica. I know I can't say I've done that before, but
That's like taking dirt or grass from like a famous stadium or something, and just keeping it like ice from Antarctica and using it in a drink.
right.
Man, that's
Sign
that's
me
next
up.
level, man.
Like, I would do it.
That's next
That's
level.
awesome.
So you two, would you both go to Antarctica?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any desire?
There's
As
really not a
much
lot of
as
places out there I
I-
wouldn't go.
Yeah, as much as I hate the cold, like, I hate anything under 80 degrees. I would definitely go for the experience.
Anything under 80 degrees.
Yes. That's
The
very
room we're in
specific.
right now is under 80 degrees.
Yeah, and I'm adapted to indoors, not so bad, but when we're talking
No, I'm
like
sorry.
outdoors,
No. Anything under 80 degrees, that's hot. like I said, the
really.
room we're in right now is under 80. You hate where you are right now?
Technically,
No,
71.
because for right now we're inside a house. We're not in the elements like the wind.
You're just talking outside. Anything under 80 degrees, you're out.
Yes. Yeah. Anything under 80 degrees outside, I can handle 70s. All right. 80s is ideal, but I mean, I would still go to Antarctica if I had the proper gear. I would go and do it.
Well, you can't survive 90 degrees in LA.
Oh,
And you
let's
barely
not
did.
go there, my guy. Oh my God.
Sorry, we're not the ones who did it.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Paige died one of the days that we were
Yeah, my
spotting in
first
LA.
trip to LA. Yeah.
Not everyone
heat
can
exhaustion.
handle it. Not everyone can handle it, but not everybody. I mean, Paige.
Well, you know what? I bounced back quickly. I wouldn't say I completely
I wouldn't call that
collapsed,
quickly. You were down and out.
All right.
but Only for a little bit.
Anyways, guys, let's get this back. All right. So Antarctica, we're all in agreement. We would love to go.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think there's a lot of places I wouldn't go, but
Right.
yeah, I would obviously
Yeah.
go because especially Antarctica, it's more of a unique factor there. Like there's a lot of places I go that people have been, but it's more the uniqueness of Antarctica.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
The penguins there. There's so many penguins in Antarctica.
Love it. Love it. All right. So now we were in Antarctica. Let's go back to another cold place, home. Here at Epic. So
Can't
we're
confirm.
moving around today.
Cold
We're
AF.
really moving
we
around.
are all over the world.
We got to be platinum medallions by now.
Yes.
That's true.
So Omaha, Epley Airport.
Airfield.
We have some new airfield.
Omaha.
When people say Omaha Epley Airport, it honestly bothers me because that's not it. It's airfield.
It's airfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Omaha
Epley
Airfield.
Airfield. No matter if the name changes in the future, it's always going to be Epley Airfield.
Epley. All right. So here at Epley, we had two news articles that came out the last 2 weeks talking about two separate incidents that occurred here, and I just kind of find it interesting. The first one here, we're talking about a man breached security at the Omaha airport. He finally got sentenced to prison. 15 months he's going to spend because he breached areas, ran on the tarmac. He opened up two separate doors to restricted areas and made it out there. He ended up biting, if I read this right.
This is
he
a
ended
guy
up-
trying to go to Egypt.
Wow. Ouch. Literally.
Yeah, he didn't appear impaired after he was arrested, but he told everybody that he wanted to go to Egypt. So during that arrest, he ended up biting a security officer, which required medical attention.
I mean, yeah, his trip to Egypt was off. He was pissed.
And
Right?
I mean, I don't blame him. Yeah, right? Omaha or Egypt?
It's funny, just like to clarify, like the dude wasn't on a plane at any point during this.
No.
Did
no,
he even
no.
have a ticket booked, or did he just go out and be
Do you
like,
think anyone does book a ticket to the airport and just like assumes like the way to the tarmac or the plane is through the fence or like not
Right.
through security?
Well, what about that? We didn't talk about this in the previous podcast, but remember that one person, the lady that in Brazil that tried to get on the aircraft and they closed the
oh
door?
yeah,
Because we're just so well versed in the aviation community, like it's just like the back of our hand. But there's got to be people out there that either like aren't, they're off the grid per se. Like no, like
Sovereign
honestly, there's people
citizen.
that live off the grid. But
Yeah.
take one of those people for example. Like if they were to buy a ticket to an airport, like you do wonder, like do they just assume you just walk in? You know what I mean?
right. Like, what do they know about the process?
I want to go to Omaha, sir.
But the fact of the matter is, this guy got all the way through the tarmac at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
Right.
Thankfully, he didn't make it to the aircraft or part of the operating area over there. We don't know which part of the aircraft or airport he went, but yeah, crazy.
Egypt was not in the cards that day.
No.
No. Now, speaking of, we had another guy who actually was on aircraft here at Epley,
Very recently.
and this is an Iowa man. He attempted to open the cabin doors of the plane during takeoff. So, Wesley Orban here.
The orbs,
Now, if I
The
pronounce your
Orban.
name wrong, I'm
the
sorry.
orbster, the orbster.
Mr. Orban here. Actually, I shouldn't assume gender. Wesley Orban
Pretty safe
here.
to say here.
Aborted a plane. He was headed to LaGuardia, and he
LaGuardia.
ended up yelling, "God is real," and spoke of demons. Then he jumped from his seat, ran towards the front of the plane, and started yelling, "Open the doors!" And
Do
then
it.
he started pounding on the cabin doors, attempting to open them according to court documents. He had a flight attendant and 4 other passengers who ended up subduing him. And afterwards, Paige loved this part when
I
we
did.
talked about this. She said, or he said, I'm embarrassed. I don't know why I did that.
That just cracked me up.
You just imagine him like down on the floor being like, oh my gosh.
Right. Just being like, man, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what came over me. Like,
I don't know if you ever watched Arrested Development, but he's like, I've made a huge mistake.
Yes.
right.
Here I am
Oh,
thinking
man.
like, you know, he starts off with God is real. I'm like, Jesus, take the yoke. Like, come on.
Yes.
Just.
So they never got in the air, correct? They were just taxiing.
Yeah,
at this
so the
point.
flight was suspended and the airplane was returned back to the gate. He ended up showing up in court, federal court, by the way. So anytime it
Yikes.
happens on a plane, it's a federal
Yeah, yikes on
offense. And the restrictions was he had to turn over his shotguns. All right.
Probably for the best.
Plural.
He had to turn over his passport, and he was not allowed to leave Nebraska or Iowa. And this is the part that I'm laughing about. Can't have drugs or alcohol. Clearly.
Wonder why.
So he can't leave Nebraska or Iowa. Can he leave Iowa for Nebraska? Can he go from Nebraska to Iowa?
I
Right.
don't know.
It's weird that they can't let him leave two states. Yeah.
Can't leave. I mean, well, but then those who don't know Epley, you have to drive through. You have to drive Nebraska into Iowa into Nebraska from the south side.
From the south side, coming
Yeah.
from the south, yeah.
Yeah, from the north side, you can stay in Nebraska. But yeah, Epley is a weird one because you have to go through 2 states. So yeah.
But yeah, they took his guns and they told him to stay off drugs.
Yeah.
Smart.
Drugs and alcohol.
Smart.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine being on that flight, though, and then just witnessing that.
If someone gets up and says God is real and talks to demons, I'm going to be frightened.
Right.
I might be, I might be.
Yeah, and then starts trying to get into the cockpit. You're like, no.
This is not happening.
Not
Thankfully,
today.
we're still on the ground.
Right.
All right, sticking back with some more Nebraska news. Just find it funny. If anybody wants to take a quick look at it, Redway, we're still talking about Redway. Their
Keeping 'em
social
alive.
media account, their Instagram, somebody took over their account and now has made it a parody account.
To be clear, this is not the actual account. They just now
Right.
have the handle of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
It's not the
yes.
same account, yeah.
They got the handle Go Fly Red.
Because
It's fitting.
because it's available. That's why
Yes.
it's funny, because the handle's available.
Because Redway immediately shut it all down and somebody
Yep.
took it back over, and now it's a parody account. So kind of funny. Next.
There's some people out there that might not find the page funny, but yeah.
Oh,
The people
yeah,
that are
that's true.
featured on that page.
Yeah. Right.
Next up, let's talk about United. They're going to debut a grab-and-go snack bar in the 321 Neo.
100% yes, sign me up.
Oh,
So, Paige, where do you stand on this?
yeah, Paige. I don't even have to go any further.
I love my snack attacks, you know?
Okay.
Although this is not anything new, but new to United, yeah. But
Yeah,
it's interesting. I guess I don't know how they unveiled, like where the routes the Neo's going to be on. Does anyone know?
Yeah, so the flights are from Newark. I saw there's only like 4 flights it's going to be on right now.
Well, they've only got a handful of them, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like Newark to Texas, Newark to LA.
Yeah, the longer
on those
flights.
flights, anything that's more than 801 miles.
801, by the way.
Yes, 801 miles.
If that
or
flight's
more.
800 miles, no snacks.
800.9 miles? Nope, not today.
But it's funny because, yeah, this is what, on a single aisle aircraft, right? And this is kind of
Yes.
rare, at least.
Yeah.
JetBlue, I know it works with, and then like overseas, but more on the wide bodies.
Correct.
But yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah.
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 So
I've never experienced this on any of my flights, even my wide body flights. So I
I've
would
definitely
love to.
experienced it on the wide bodies, which is nice. You can just get up, go get snacks, and then go back to your seat.
Aer Lingus, what are you doing? Because
Mike,
I didn't have that.
Aer Lingus. My question is, so with it being a narrow body, single aisle, what do you guys think? Like, I think you could end up having already you have people waiting in line for the lavatory. Now you
Right.
have people waiting in line for snacks.
I think they would limit it. Like, you can only have so many people up at once for it,
Right.
It'll be
But the fact
interesting.
is, yeah,
It'll be
Yeah.
a nice party.
it'll be a problem at some point, but it's a good problem to have, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's obviously only going to be available, I think, it's not available to the whole plane, is it? Am I wrong in saying that?
So this is going to be available to the whole plane, and it's going to happen after everybody's been served the first round of snacks. And
It's impressive that they're opening it to everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
I find that a little surprising. I would assume they're going to have one in the front and the back kind of thing. That's one way to help this out, right?
that could help. Yeah.
I mean, I guess we kind of had it with Delta. They just came around and said, take how many ever you want after the first round, but it wasn't like a grab and go.
That's Comfort Plus.
Yes.
Comfort Plus
right.
and First Class, they
Yeah.
continuously feed you. So, yeah. So we'll see
Cool.
how that
Yeah.
works. And, yeah, more snacks, trying to be more customer friendly. Why not? You spend so much money on these aircraft.
Yeah, you're a big United guy, aren't you?
Okay.
Hey, you're the one pubbing them right now. You're giving
I
them
am
pub.
not.
You're giving them pub.
You
literally are. We're literally talking about them.
guys. Stop. All right, guys. And on that
The
note,
guy that says he's not a fan of United but says, love this new idea from United.
I'm going to unite us out of this segment. We are going to be back. See you guys in a bit. Recording in 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back to the exit row. How we doing? We still feeling good? Still with us?
Great, yeah.
Still alive.
Let's see here. So I think you all know what time it is. It's time for the world famous Paige's polls.
Paige's
Yes,
polls.
it is.
Paige, what do we got this week?
Polls, party time.
All right, yes, it is that time, Justin, for Paige's polls. And this throws it back to last week's episode, episode 11.
That's
Great episode.
corrected 2 weeks up.
Exactly.
2 weeks ago.
Yep. Which was brought to us by you, Justin.
Oh, hey, another great person.
Sponsored by Justin.
Great song.
Love it.
So, our poll this week. Hypothetically, from a plane spotter's perspective, if you had to choose between living by an airport that only gets one airline but gets a couple heavies a day, or living by an airport that gets several airlines / variety but no heavies, what would you choose?
Wow, what a question, by the way. What a question.
I did get a comment.
From you.
For the thinking plane spotter, by the way.
Yes, I did get a comment from the Reg Hunter on Instagram. One of my friends saying that this was a very tough question that we were making us all think. So, yeah, this was a tough one.
I mean, I myself have changed about 3 times today alone on this subject.
It's tough, like, you know.
So where does the field land on?
So only
Where
one
did they
airline.
land on the field?
The field, as in the people, but yes, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Embley Airfield.
Where'd they come out at?
So, only one airline with heavy came out at 35%. Many airlines, no heavies, came out at 65% with a vote of 17-9.
Wow.
I'd love to know some like deeper analytics on this. Like the people that voted for the variety, are they people from here? Are they people from maybe the ones that are at an airport but only have a heavy
True.
and they want the variety? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Questions, spurring questions, right?
right. A tough question, spurring
It really
even more
was, though.
tough
I mean,
questions.
like honestly, like I said, I change my mind almost daily on it.
It is. It's tough because, yeah, it's a good question.
You could take the question even a little deeper. So, like, say it's one airline with a heavy, but the heavy comes in at like 6 a.m.
Nope.
You know what I
Count me
mean?
out.
Or wintertime. It lands at 9 o'clock at
Right,
night.
exactly.
Yeah.
Would you want the heavy, but it comes in at a tough time, right?
I mean, that's basically Omaha right now. All of our heavies are coming in past dark.
Those
so-
don't count because they're cargo, but yeah, I hear
Well,
you.
yeah, still. But yeah.
Is that going to
tough.
be a future page poll? Is cargo.
Yeah. I mean, cargoes, yes, they're heavies, but to us, I mean, they're just like the back of our hand, you know, like it's just, you know, it is what it is. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to both of them, so that's why it makes it so tough.
Anyway, so one more time, what were the results?
So results, only one airline with a heavy is 35%. Many airlines, no heavies, is 65%.
It's actually
with a vote to 17.
pretty heavy majority, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oops, sorry.
Speaking of heavies, let's talk about the 747.
Was that the only poll for the week? I guess I can't remember. Was that
Sorry.
the
Yes.
only poll?
Yeah, I think
All
it
right.
was, yeah. Sorry, Paige.
747.
Paige's polls.
Another great segment of Paige's
is
polls.
gone. Paige's polls has ended.
Excellent.
I'll contact Capitol Records on that song. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Moving on. It's a parody, okay? All right. So next, let's talk about 747.
My favorite BB.
Moving over to the heavies again. reading this article that I saw earlier from Flying Magazine, I forget that this was the year that the 747 had its final delivery. It feels like it was last year.
I know.
But it was...
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
It was only July 31st. So...
Oh, wow.
Was it really only in July?
I thought it was January.
Correction, January.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you both for correcting me.
You're
welcome.
You have been a tad off your game today, but luckily we're here.
Exactly. You know.
Aircraftfactcheck.org.
Aircraftfactcheck.theexitrow.
All right.
I was going to say, if it was only in July, I was going to be like, whoa.
Right?
Like, what have I been doing for the last 2 months?
Jeez, it's gone slow. Wow.
Okay. Anyway, let's get back to this one.
As they say, time flies. Time flies.
Right. Yes, pun intended.
All right. So the 747-800 freighter was delivered on January 31st.
You still went almost July right there.
This is like the last episode where I was like, Dallas Love Field.
Even that last time, January, you were still wanting to say July there.
January, the new month.
All right. So anyways, we know it's ended, unfortunately.
Production,
but it's still flying around. It's been great.
Yeah.
It's flown many presidents around the world. Obviously, Air Force One, now known as the VC-25 for that 747. I've also seen the South Korean president's plane as well. They're on a 747. Those engines are beautiful. We've also seen the 747 ferry the space shuttle for NASA. There's also been the Dream Lifter. And what I was really liked, the details were like...
There's some good numbers provided on there, weren't there? Yeah, some good facts.
So Atlas Air is the largest operator of the 747s. They have 43 747Fs, including 9 8s. They have a total of actually 50 jumbo aircrafts, but we do know that Atlas Air does have a charter for the
Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
The Miami 40 Dolphins, yeah.
The Miami 49ers. The Dolphins. They also do it for sports teams, military. They do a lot of chartering. Other airlines that operate the 747 cargo would be Cargo Lux, which I love Cargo Lux.
Mm-hmm.
I love that livery. I especially love the one with the Italia on it. Cathay Pacific, or Cathay, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Kalitta Air. I used to say Kaliddle. You guys used to make fun of me.
Still do.
Long live Kaliddle.
Korean Air and Singapore Airlines. And when it comes to passenger service, we got Lufthansa, Air China, Asiana, and Max Air.
That Air China 747 is so nice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I love my Diabaya. And
We
the
also-
747 SP from Las Vegas Sands was here in Omaha last year.
Yes, we did see it. It was pretty cool.
Dropping off Posty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, little posty. Korean Air also has 10 747-800s. And here's by the numbers. So it's 56 years old as of this year.
Yeah, these are the numbers. Yeah, these are good facts right here.
1,574 of them have been manufactured. They have obviously 4 engines.
Oh.
No way.
What?
I was like,
Thanks, Flying Magazine.
You know, I guess 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
100 plus number of customers, 118 million collective flight hours, days it took to sell out the limited edition Boeing 747 Forever Incredible commemorative coin, 2 days. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I didn't get one.
The number
Me
of
either.
World
Fake
Cup
news.
soccer fields that can fit in a 747-800 is 3.
Ooh.
Let's see, the 747-8's tail is as tall as an average 6-story building.
Oh, wow.
Your average 6-story building. Okay.
Yeah. Payload, 747-800 can carry is 303,700. The number of gold bars for Fort Knox would be 10,767.
Just in case, you know, so
Just
you can drop
things
that
you
back
need
on your
to
friends.
know, right?
So next time you're in conversation, drop that on your friends and
The
see
more
what they
you
say.
know at the exit row.
Yep, beat me to it.
Do. And some other information.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada. Seinfeld reference there, right? Yeah. So 747, beautiful,
Making
love it.
strides in life.
It is really cool to be in the cockpit of one when it's landing.
Oh my God.
I know. Okay. I'll just say I've done it twice.
I
It's
wish we could
awesome.
do
The
that.
only
and it's
reason your
really,
flexes annoy me is because I want them.
Right.
It's really high
Yeah,
when you
we wouldn't
land.
know.
I'm just
No, it is weird. Like we've always, I think we talked before, or at least not on podcasts, or at least off air, like if you're sitting passenger wise in the front, you're in front of the pilot.
right.
So weird to think about.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, but it's really high up there when you land. It's really cool. So 747, love it. And we can talk about it all day. I would love to.
They'll be around for some time too, as well.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Switching topics. We're going to go to Delta.
Ooh.
Hey, come on. All right. So I just showed you guys a video. It's been around the news, social media. A Delta flight attendant threatened to remove a Grammy-nominated musician off one of their aircraft.
A very
Sounds
well
like
known.
Yes. Well known. Bobby Storm is her name. Bobby Storm decided that when she came on the aircraft, she wanted everybody to know that she had been nominated. Not one, she had been nominated for 2 Grammys.
Oh, wow.
Now, Bobby Storm, she was a gospel singer.
If you don't know who she is, and that's okay, no one does.
Right.
And those on the aircraft didn't know either. So she wanted everybody to know. She let everybody know, and she decided to sing. Thought that she was spreading, some joy to everybody locally. However, the flight attendant was not having it.
He wasn't
No,
feeling gospel at
not
the time.
No,
He wasn't feeling gospel.
because she was specifically like, "Hey, but I'm trying to share the joy." He's like, "You're not sharing the joy with me." Like,
You just wanted to go home.
yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know. How would you feel if somebody, guys, I'm just saying, how would you feel if a classical music artist decided to say, "Hey, guys, I am feeling it today. I've been nominated for 2 Grammys, and I want you to know." Da, 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 da,
I mean, I'm just gonna broaden this up. Like any artist, I would say. I mean, it would depend on who, honestly. If it was someone
Right.
really cool, like well known, like obviously, but something like this, it is kind of odd. You got to wonder if it's one of these stories like in Omaha that you mentioned. Like, is this person okay?
Right.
Like, I'm
Right.
sorry, I don't know her like off the top of my head, so I got to think like, is this person okay?
Exactly.
I
Like,
think it also depends on the vibes because you've seen flights where they play music and everyone's clapping along and singing along. So is it just that person
I got to be honest. Wait,
singing?
whoa! I have not seen that.
I have. I've seen
Where people are clapping,
maybe it
and
was a
singing along.
charter plane.
No.
You-
I've seen
are you referring to
passenger-
the Taylor Swift video?
Yes, the Taylor Swift video.
the
I've
one
seen more
thing.
though.
No, you
Yeah, but
haven't.
that's
I've seen a
Taylor
couple others.
Swift. People are okay with Taylor Swift.
And by the way, that video was horrifying. By the way, that'd be awful to be on that flight.
I mean,
Right.
So
I
you're
might
saying
be-
you've been on
I
a flight
might
where
be a
people
secret
are
Swiftie,
you've
but-
been on a flight where people are singing and clapping along to the beat.
no, but I've been on a flight where people were clapping at the end of the flight. So
Those people. Oh, by the way, we're changing this topic real quick. Those people have a special place in hell. Like, I'm just saying.
Oh, definitely.
well, I mean from
be
an
clear, those are
aviation
completely different
personnel
things.
perspective, it was a little wild, but it was a pretty crazy flight,
They,
but
they must
still,
have been. They must have been Italian.
But to go back to your point, that's a completely different circumstance.
right.
Yeah. So, Bobby Storm, she's a gospel singer. God spoke to her, and she wanted everybody to know. That's where we're at. So, hey,
Hey, I'm happy for her, but shut up.
yeah. And that's the thing. Like, they were trying to take off, and it's like, listen, lady, you need to be quiet.
There's time and place, right?
Like,
Right.
congratulations. We're happy for you. Not, I'm not a Grammy award-winning nominee, whatever, but happy for you. Shut up. Let's get up in the air. Like,
Well, because they have to do those pre-flight announcements and
Right.
all that stuff, make sure everyone's good and secured, and make sure everyone knows the message of safety. You know.
There's a time and a place, and hey, respect everybody, please. That's all we're looking for.
But, I mean, she won a Grammy.
No, she was nominated.
Wow, yeah, that's right. Didn't even win.
She didn't even win yet, so. All right, let's move to Southwest Airlines.
Oh, my BB.
All right. Hey, so Southwest Airlines is now toiling with the idea of doing red-eye flights.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No.
No.
I mean, from a business perspective, I think it's going to be good for them, but I can see where things might get a little dicey on board.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, it's going to be more money and revenue, of course. However,
I mean, think about this. We all know Southwest has a terrible system, and they break all the time.
what did you call it? Like the herding cattle, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go. Yes. Cattle who are getting, no, not herding. Yeah. Herding
Yeah.
to get slaughtered is what I said.
Oh, that's right.
That's what they look like.
Yeah.
Their boarding process sucks. It's going to suck for a red-eye flight because everybody's tired. They just want to get on the plane. They just want to get where they need to, and they have to figure out where they're going to sit. But we all know, like, Southwest has had to close thousands of flights because of a computer error. Now they're trying to stretch themselves even further, that if this happens, it's going to affect a lot of red-eye flights. It's going to affect so many more passengers.
It would be interesting to see how they did it. Would they be adding flights? Would they be taking flights off certain routes to, add these? It'd be interesting to see how they go about
Right.
it and what routes will get the red eyes.
Right.
We'll see. I mean,
I would assume it's going to happen. Just it's a matter of how it looks, right?
Right. Well, now they're about to get the 747 MAX
737 Max. Yeah, you said 747
I was
Max.
gonna say, 747
Hey, you
Max
know
would
what?
be
Let's
cool, though.
let's give it a
That would be
okay?
breaking news on the exit row. They are getting the 747 Max.
I still got 747 on my mind. The 737 MAX 7 should get their final certification from the FAA in April. So we should see Southwest rolling those out and taking receipt of those. So yeah, Southwest, red air.
You're struggling today.
I'm thinking red way, right. Jeez.
More
All right.
planes, more routes,
Here we go. But we won't have Southwest flights staying the night here.
No more
at Epley.
sleepovers.
There you go.
Well, there would still be some. Not everyone's going to be going the red eye, but yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to have the 6 or 7 that we have each night. All right. Enough about local news, or other news. Justin,
Yeah.
you're headed to Dallas.
Yeah, let's talk about me.
Let's
yes.
talk about you.
Yes, here we go.
Cue the
You're just like,
turkey
finally,
song.
the moment I've
Yeah,
been
so
waiting for
Thanksgiving
so long.
travels are coming up, I guess, at the time of this recording. It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So again, happy Thanksgiving to those out there. So I believe you guys are staying here locally, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm staying. Gonna go
Paige,
see my parents.
Paige, are you got another Fremont shuttle trip planned?
I do. Yes, I will be
Nice.
driving there myself. Yeah.
Perfect.
I will be piloting my vehicle to Fremont. Yes.
Heck yes. Piloting the vehicle. Yeah, I'll be heading to the DFW Metroplex on Thanksgiving morning. So yeah,
Nice holiday flight. Love it.
be back that following Sunday, and I'm sure I'll have hopefully everything goes according to plan. If not, I'll have something to talk about right in the next episode.
Heck
I
yeah.
would. I would know how
Regardless,
that
regardless,
goes.
I'll have something to talk about.
There we go.
But yeah, flying into DFW Thanksgiving morning. So I'll give thanks from the air, and we'll follow me on social media if you want to follow along.
737 both ways.
Yes, as of right now. Although I've noticed on the Omaha to DFW flight lately, there's been an A320 mixed in every now and then.
I've seen that too.
So hopefully that unfortunately does not happen. Not a big fan of the A320.
If you don't get a full Thanksgiving meal on board, protest.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a lot of spotting for this trip. Obviously, it's based around Thanksgiving, seeing family, which is important, but might get some time in at Founders Plaza. When I say might, I will, just not a lot. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will we'll follow up when I get back.
Heck yeah. I know I'm going to look forward to seeing pictures. So. All right. Well, guys.
I got to go to Founders Plaza because Paige failed to get to Founders.
Okay. Well, I guess that means all three of us were just going to have to go there sometime.
True.
Okay. Yep.
I'm down.
We'll make it happen.
See you there.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go. All right.
Yeah.
And on that note, we all wish you
Is that it?
a happy Thanksgiving.
Is that it?
Handle
That is
tray?
it. Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
getting there.
Okay, my bad.
I just want to say, from this crew, we want to say happy Thanksgiving. We are now starting the handle train. Paige, where
Wait,
can
real
we
quick
follow
on
you?
that tip, I want to give thanks to everyone listening. We were thankful
Yes.
for them.
Yeah.
Especially our longtime listeners, our dedicated
Yeah.
fans.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
We might not, but you know who you are. Right?
Exactly.
And
Or
anyone
those-
listening right now.
Or those who binge listen to us, the new ones who will binge listen up until the newest episode.
Anyone that decides to listen for 10 seconds or 10 minutes or the whole thing,
Yep.
love you. Appreciate you.
Exactly.
And we're only growing. We're only getting better from here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, man, where were we
On the up
11
and up.
episodes ago? We were just kids.
I know.
We were just kids doing a podcast, and now we're professionals. I think. There weren't supposed to be crickets after that. You're supposed to be confident and say yes. Yes,
Yeah,
we are.
absolutely.
Still professionals.
Yeah.
Paige, where can we follow you?
You can follow me at Omaha Spotter Paige on Instagram and my travel buddy Adventures with Aileron.
Justin.
And Baguette.
Spotting.omaha.
And myself, photography by Adama D. There you go. See? And you can also follow us at the Exit Row Pod on the Instagram. Please like, subscribe, share. Please leave comments, and please feel free to reach out to us. For all three of us, happy Thanksgiving. We will see you in a few weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.